think we are. Oof, my hair is a mess. Lord Jesus. Where's the brush when you need one? Hi, everybody. I'm on my way out. I've got to make some coins today, so gotta do what I gotta do. It's scary as hell going out here knowing that these cases are going up and there's no vaccine. Like we're still waiting to see the vaccine. And I heard from my one of verify what's going on. I have no idea. So I have lots. So it is what it is, I guess. So trying the main road. I'm still on my back road, so the live is just cutting in and out, in and out. So please just give me a minute to get to the main road, and we can start our chatter conversations for today, for this morning, and then I'll just do another one on my way back later on. So we'll have a chatter session going in to make my coins, and a chatter session after I made my coins. And so far, I've been watching the lives from home just to double check to make sure the signal has been strong enough to get through my conversations and stuff. And knock on wood, everything has been working, which is a shock. But they're building so many houses back here that that's just going to make the internet stronger. So I'm praying like at least 10 or 15 more houses get built back here, just so more people can have access to internet, and that'll make the signal come more close to where I live, because I live like kind of so in the woods and the boonies. And so it is what it is. Like it. Um, and I'm doing it because I have a Cricut, and my Cricut is, it's still fairly new. Like I've used it many times, but I've been using it with my phone. And what happens is, like when I do letters or numbers, grouped together, sometimes when I go to peel it off the access, the letters stick to the access and it's not cutting all the way through. And it's happened a couple of times, so I'm thinking that it has something to do with the handheld, the little bitty, system that I'm using on my phone. So I want to get a laptop or a notebook or something that all in one computer, I don't know, something that'll allow me to download that program and work it a lot better than what I am, because something's going wrong and I just don't know what it is. So, these Cricut machines, they make it look like it's really, really easy to do and it's so cut and dry, but those Cricut machines are very complicated. You have to know a little bit of math to get your dimensions right. You got to have some kind of ruler, and you got to be paying attention to what you're doing when you're working with iron-on. Because let me tell you something. If you're ironing on something with letters and you don't flip it before you print it, when you print it, it's going to print just the way that you set it up. When you put it on the shirt, it's going to be on your shirt backwards. So if you are the owner of one of those Cricut machines and you're printing t-shirts and printing logos and stuff, and you're new to it, big learning lesson is, before you print your iron-on logo sticker, you better flip it backwards. Otherwise, when you iron it on your shirt, it's going to come on the wrong way. And so, I learned the hard way. And luckily, I was just doing little masks and things. I've not done t-shirts and stuff, really big projects like that, because I don't have a laptop to support the Cricut application the way I need it to. And my ass is blind as the bat. I'm supposed to be wearing glasses and bifocals and trifocals and everything. I don't hardly wear glasses because I just don't like the way I look in them. And, they do help me see better. But I don't know, I have a thing with wearing glasses. I don't know why. Like, I just wear them when I necessarily have to. Like when my eyes blur up from the diabetes or whatever, then I'll put them on. And hopefully I try to be at home when I do. I keep them with me all the time, but I rarely ever put them on, like, unless it's necessarily feel like I need to. And I know that's bad. Like, I should probably wear my glasses like every day, but I don't. And so, my goodness. My goodness. Okay. And so back to the Cricut machine. So the reason I bought it is that I wanted to be able to, create my own uh, logos and stuff for masks and things, since we're in an era of a pandemic. Doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. So I wanted to create masks that other people don't have. Now everybody's out here doing everything all over the place already with their Cricut machines and stuff like that, and I've seen some really cute stuff. But my goal was to be able to do the same thing, like print, and have cutesy little projects and everything, and be able to, advertise and then sell some of my stuff. And I did sell some of the ones that, like, I upcycle, like the sequin ones. If you never seen my sequins ones, look on my Instagram. You'll see pictures of me wearing various masks that I made. Most of my masks that I wear in most of my projects online are the ones that I created and made myself. And I recycle. Like, I go to Goodwill and buy fabrics. I try to get fabrics or clothing that are repurpose or upscalable. My language is so bad today. Forgive me. My brain is all over the place. But I'm just trying to explain to you that I like to upcycle and get fabrics and find materials that women decided they were going to do a project, and then they changed their mind, and then you can get yards and yards and yards of fabric, for a little or nothing at Goodwill. And I find them all the time. And I have tons of fabric that I can make pillows, and I did a whole bunch of Mickey Mouse pillows. Those came out okay when I printed them. The face, the iron-on face that I printed for the Mickey Mouse pillows, and I ended up giving them away because they were just kind of like projects, like, starter projects for me, just to get my fingers wet into sewing and learning how to print and do all these things, because I'm new to all of this. But I have a vision of, like, the things that I want to do, so I try to do them. Those worked out pretty good. When I put the Mickey Mouse on the mask and everything, because it was a smaller scale, the eyeballs and stuff started to stick to the iron-on stuff that I was trying to get rid of, and so it got a little complicated. I tried to do a work logo, for my job, and it did the design okay, but some of the letters stuck. So I ended up just doing the company logo and then leaving the letters off in some. And I posted them all online, so if you ever look onto like my Facebook or Instagram and you dig further enough back into my photos, you'll see me wearing masks, and you'll see all the different designs and stuff I've done. And like I said, I sold some locally to people that I know, and I did pretty good with that. And then I've stopped just because the puppies that I have kind of slowed me down, because I had to make clothes for them. They wanted their little outfits and stuff, so I had to create little outfits and everything for them, and they're all different sizes. They're little bitty dachshund mixes, and so their little stubby legs, the stubby feet, had their little shirt sleeves had to be adjusted. And so that's kind of slowed me down a little bit, but I'm planning to start up making masks again. Probably tonight, because I got some fabrics. The last time I went to Goodwill was a few days back. I bought about $20 worth of just fabrics and blankets and stuff that I needed around the house. And I found some really cute sequin clothing that I could convert into masks and double layers and all of that for extra protection. And so I'll probably be working on that stuff over the weekend, and hopefully have some new stuff to post, and move on from there. But like I said, I've got to find a computer that will run all of the programs and applications that I need, because you guys know I pretty much do all of my own work. Sometimes Kitty Selmeen will come in and do stuff for me every blue moon. But for the most part now, I'm on my own, like as far as pick art and programs, and I've got some stuff written down and advice from my brother nephew, Mac Houston, and he is kind of helping me, like giving me advice on like programs to use to upgrade and make my stuff a little bit better, so I'll have better quality materials in the future. And so far, I'm proud of myself with the stuff that I'm putting out. It's just that it's hard, like, to make time for everything, because it seems to me like the days are going by so fast now. Like, I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I get the dog situated, and it's time for dinner. Get everybody fed, get myself fed. I always, like, literally after I eat, I always pass out and go to sleep for like an hour. Then wake up, get the animals situated, let them play for an hour or two, and then start crafting, put them to bed, start doing my crafting, start watching my soap operas, and then I'm up pretty late at night, up until the a.m., and then I go to sleep for just a few hours and get up. Like, I really don't sleep 8 hours. I know that's horrible, but I'm not one of those kind of people who can sleep 8 hours, because for many, many years, I worked graveyard when I lived in Las Vegas, and I worked graveyard in hotels and stuff, front desk hotels at Tropicana, and also at Disney before that, when I was at Disney World before I got ran off. Um, and that was in the, we're going back to the late 90s, early 2000s. I would do graveyards over there. Like, I would work in the character department in the daytime, doing all the parades and all the breakfast shows and all of that. And then at night, I would pick up overtime around, like, say 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. And so that's graveyard. And I would work 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Pleasure Island. And I would do like those little merchandising carts, or one of the stores, little merchandising stores that they had over there at the time. And it's all different now. Like, the marketplace has completely changed. Like, there's just very few things that are still there. But I used to work there back in the day before it got all fancy and all, designer Disney, where they brought all those designer people and stuff in there. And so, yeah, so I have a history of graveyards. Like, I would say a third of my life I worked graveyards and stuff like that, just, merchandising. And so I've been doing mostly merchandising most of my life. I also did, I've done school teaching and stuff like that. So my days and stuff are long, been long in the past. Now, I'm not doing all that stuff. I'm just, taking care of me. I still work merchandising and stuff like that. I'm not teaching yet until I can get some sort of internet in my house and I can teach from home. And that's another reason why I need a computer, because, like, once the internet start flowing, where I can work from home, then I can start teaching English as a second language and stuff, and move forward from there. And that'll be another way for me to make money from home. It's besides, selling stuff, here and there, and making stuff for people and stuff like that, which I really enjoy doing, crafting projects and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see, what transpires down the road for myself. And I'm just looking forward to moving ahead with my life and trying to see what direction I can push myself into. And I don't know, like, my brain's just a complete fog. But anyway, I was gonna tell you something that just went right out of my head. It went right in my head. But yeah, it is what it is. So I hope everybody's having a good day so far, and I hope you enjoy this kind of, leisurely chatter of mine. But I just, I had a lot of crafting things on my mind today. Like yesterday, I talked a lot about the BL series and stuff that I've been watching. And so, what is that? Hold on one second. Oh, it's a piece of paper. Okay. Um, and today I woke up with, just crafting. I need a computer. I gotta, get my shit together. Like, this is not good. Like, where I'm trying to go with this is not working. And from the looks of it, like, this pandemic is gonna be here. It's here to stay for a while. I don't even care if they have the damn vaccines. I'm gonna be wearing my damn mask, even if I have to get the shot or not. I'm still gonna keep wearing that mask because I just honestly don't want that, to die from that disease or get it. Just because I'm already, I'm hurting already. Like today, I'm hurting in my knee. It's supposed to be raining here. The rain is already here in the state, but it's coming this way, and it's supposed to be thunderstorms and all of that, like they're saying for up until about 8 o'clock p.m. Luckily, it's nothing right now, but it's going to be later on. So, that's going to be a mess. Trying to get home, get the puppy situated in the rain. It sucks. I've already had to do it once before. And they don't seem to mind the rain so much, but I don't like getting wet. So it sucks for me because I don't want to be out there in the rain. And so I've got my rain boots ready. I've got my rain jacket, um, getting prepared for that. Because, where I live, it's very muddy and wet and grass and leaves and ugh. And I'm used to it. It's nothing new for me. It's just, it is what it is. But I don't live in Las Vegas anymore, Jesus, where everything is concrete pavement and just sand. I do kind of miss that. I don't miss the people though. I don't miss all that craziness. But, city life is city life, I guess. Yeah, I've seen so many people doing cricket cuts and all of this stuff. I hope I can make this light. Let me go. I made it. Yes, I made it. Yes. And I've seen so many people doing cricket, projects. My niece does a lot of T-shirts and novelty things, and she's doing really good with her cricket machine, but she's got a better setup than I do. And she's got an older model cricket, and I have one of the newer model ones. And I don't know if I should have gotten the older model. Maybe it'll work better, but the newer model is supposed to have all these extra things that you can do with it. But, all the extra stuff, I don't want to do it for those. I just want to cut out the iron-on stuff in the vinyl, cut out my logos and print them, and that's it. I don't need to do all the fancy ink pen stuff and all that. So that's not something that really interests me. But I do like the way that the Cricut machine handles projects and stuff. Like it's tedious, but it's worth it when it comes out and it works. But it sucks when it doesn't, and it's frustrating when it doesn't. But with everything, like you have to practice. And if you don't practice and try to figure things out and watch videos and learn, it makes it very difficult to get better at using the machine. And that's with anything, like if you don't practice, for example, like I practiced Spanish for years and years and years and years. I could not hold it in my head because I don't live there. If I lived there, I won't have any choice but to, make my brain function every day in Spanish. But since I'm surrounded by English all the time, it was very difficult for me to pick it up. But when I lived in Florida, I was picking it up because every day somebody was up in my face speaking Spanish. And it made it very much more a part of my environment to make an effort to watch TV, to write in Spanish, to think in Spanish. I was dreaming in Spanish for a very long time until I left Florida. Once I left Florida and I moved back this way, it was nobody speaking Spanish. So then I slowly started to forget about it because all I hear in my ear all day was just English. So it made it very hard. Now that I started watching all these Thai movies and I was watching, BLs like back to back and binge watching it, I realized like my ear was just hearing certain words over and over and over again until I started to understand with the subcontext, with the English, subtitles, and then them saying it, I started picking up the words. Like I was like, oh, that's what that means. And so I realized, like, it's hard for me to um, really pick things up without practicing and listening and doing. Like I have to do everything. Listen, I have to practice, I have to work really hard to get better at stuff. And so, I've seen some people who they got it, like they just wake up and they have the knowledge. But that's not everybody. I'm not a wizard that I just wake up and know everything and it sucks. But I've seen, like, my nephew, that, my brother nephew, he's really smart. Like, just seems like he can obtain a lot of things from memory. I've seen so many people like that. It blows my mind that their brain can hold so much information and they never forget it. And for me, I'm not holding anything in my head unless it's something that really interests me. And I have to be doing it. Like I have to be using it in order for me to keep it in my head. Otherwise, it's going to be gone. You know. And I tell you, like, learning Thai has been such a challenge. And the first thing that I said in a video before, a guy emailed me or texted me in one of the Instagram chats, and he says, I was interested that you like Thai, but I think it's going to be too hard for you to learn. And I was like, bitch, who are you? Like, who are you to tell me what's too hard? You don't know me, and I don't know you. But after he said it, it scared me because I was like, oh, Lord, well, maybe I am in over my head. But then at that point, I had already binge watched this first series called Lovesick. And Lovesick was the first one that, I'd never seen anything like that before. And all the kids was like acting, singing, dancing. They were basically playing the instruments. The background music songs with them singing. I was like, what? These kids can really act. So I think the combination of all that just struck me like, like triple threats, quadruple threats, and, in the acting world. And I was like, wow, these kids are amazing. So that drew me in even further into the BL series. Even though it was Thailand, I started picking it up. And I wasn't trying to, it just happened. And so for him to tell me that, oh, you're too stupid to learn Thai or whatever he was trying to convey, I was like, bitch, I don't know you. Like, you can save all of that. You don't know me. I don't know you. I don't know, you don't know what I can obtain. And I hate people like that because, you want to play God and tell people who they are, what they are, this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, you don't do that to people because you don't know what people can achieve in their lives. I could be a walking dictionary for all you know. I could be, Miriam Weather or whatever. You don't know me. And so I've seen people out there who can pick up 2 and 3 languages. Literally, they already know it. They just wake up knowing it. They don't have to study. They don't have to do anything. They already can recognize and easily pick up a language. Like some people got that kind of a brain that picks up things very quickly. Other people don't. I myself, I really believe that, I'm a survivor of trauma, you know, just being born in the wrong body and born in the wrong community and all of that stuff in combined where people don't embrace you for who you are, it makes it very difficult for you to function in life at times. And that means hard to study because you're constantly worried, you're constantly living in fear, you're constantly scared, you don't like yourself, you're constantly like fighting with yourself about your identity and all of this kind of stuff. And it's so important to know that, like, when people are in trauma like that, it's hard for them to study, it's hard for them to be in school, it's hard for them to think about science and math because they're constantly in fear of many things. They have many things to worry about, and on top of that they're worried about, why did I feel this way about myself? And I don't get why people don't understand that. I don't get why that is such a hard topic for people to understand about children when they're trying to learn and develop in school. And I'm speaking of trans kids in specific because I myself was a very confused hot mess growing up. And I just think that all of that, looking back on it, had a lot to do with how my brain works today. Like how it's so hard for me to obtain things at times because my mind is so preoccupied with dumb shit. That really, you shouldn't be worried about. But as a kid, if you're living in trauma and in fear, you're not going to have good study skills. Your mind's going to be preoccupied with other stuff that has nothing to do with school. And that's like a survival instinct. Trauma is also like trying to survive in an environment that doesn't accept you or doesn't like you. And you never forget those things. And so I hope in this conversation of random chatter, um, people start to understand that, because it's like um, trying to think another language, trying to pick up another language. I'm enjoying what I'm watching. I'm very fearful that, someone just tell me I can't. You know, it's it's reinforcing trauma. And even at my age, like, I don't want to hear that shit from you. I don't know you. So don't come to me with your insecurities about me, because you don't know me. And I've met a lot of Thai teachers who are very supportive, and I met them online, and they all, share their lessons online for free, like little mini lessons and stuff. And they always let me email them, like, if I have questions and things like that. And so that kind of put the fire out with me and that anonymous nobody, that was trying to tell me that Thai is too hard to learn. And I would tell anybody, you can learn anything if you're determined and you believe that you can learn it. And you have to have an interest in what you're doing. If you're not interested in it, you're not going to learn it. You're not going to learn something that you're not interested in. I'm sorry. Like, you might pick up some of it, but you ain't trying to learn that because you ain't interested in it. For me, because I'm watching the BL series and I'm hearing it every day, it doesn't bother me. I don't have an issue with other people's cultures and stuff, and so I just embrace whatever environment I'm in. I got tired of watching American TV. I'm over it. Like, I just want to see something from somewhere else. I'm tired of Superman, Batman, and the same old bullshit. Like, it's the same stuff just being repeated, same actors, same folks getting old. They getting old just like me. I'm like, I can't believe people still looking at these old people, but it is what it is, you know. And it's just the same stuff just being repeated. Like, there's no creative, no nuance, no nothing. It's another Star Wars movie blip, you know, another $1 billion for, the same people making the same money. They're just old. And so I was watching ABC today, and they were talking about all of the Disney lineup and all of the lineup, the Star Wars sequences and all of that they have coming out. And I saw some of the previews for the stuff. It just didn't interest me. I was like, I just don't care. And maybe that's just, me over American TV, but I would rather watch the BL series or watch something from another country or anywhere. Like, we have, what, 6, 7 continents now? Hell, I need to be in Oceania. What's going on over there in them islands over there? What's going on in India? What's going on in, Africa? What's going on in anywhere but here? Like, I need, you know, my own space. And I found it in Thailand. Like, I just love the Thailand BL series. And Philippines also, is Asia. So they're been really putting out some good material, good storylines, really good acting quality and stuff like that. So I've been pretty much going in that direction. I can kind of understand Tagalog, just because it's mixed with Spanish and a lot of English. And so some of it I can kind of pick it up, like, and so just because I'm watching some of their series, it's going to be the same thing. Like, if I keep hearing it, I'll start to understand some of it. I won't say I won't pick up the whole language because I'm not trying to. I would love to learn um, the Thai language just because um, my ear can understand it, and I don't, I don't know why, it just does. And I don't know. Just the other day, I was listening in my car to Thai lessons, and I heard the lady say, "You look you look so nice," and she said, "Kun," and "kun" in Thai is Kun, kun, and look so nice is do the mark. And I always say ka after everything because my teacher always said, but just add ka. It's just extra sweetness when you say it at the end of a sentence. So I was like, kun do di mark. Typed it to my Thai teachers and stuff, like, because they're always posting videos on TV or posting themselves in pictures and graduating and stuff like that. And I always want to tell them, oh, you look really nice. But it never stuck in my head. Well, in the midst of all of that lesson, that stuck in my head. Like stayed with me all day and all night. So I got up the next day and I typed it in. I practiced it. I did Google Translate to double check, and it came out right. And then I started saying it, and it stuck with me. Like, you don't have to learn the whole damn language in one day. I'm just doing it as, for fun, like something that I enjoy. So I learn a little bit at a time, and it'll stay with you. Those little many lessons will stay with you as you start to plunge yourself into the more complicated stuff. Because for me, I want to learn how to write the language, and then I also learn how to speak the language. So reading and writing to me is like really, really important. And let me lock this door. This door is unlocked when I stop the car. And reading and writing is really important to me. So when I'm learning a language, I try to learn the alphabet, the numbers, how to write, and then to try to be able to recognize certain words in the symbols and stuff, because they don't use you know American numbers in their, well, they do, but for the most part they have their own script for their language to write, and it goes left to right, which makes it easy. Because when I was trying to learn Arabic when I was dating numbnuts, oops, I shouldn't say that, but anyway, it is what it is. Um, the Arabic reads right to left, and that was really difficult for somebody like me because I'm like, my my brain could not process stuff going backwards. If it was symbols going to the right, I guess it would be very easy for me. Like, I tried to look at a Japanese book, like a comic book. One of my friends, Lauren, she's a cartoonist, and she was showing me one of her cartoon books from Japan, and I was trying to look at that book, and the shit was slanted. It was going like slanted that way, and I was like, girl, how do you follow this booklet when it's slanted like this? Like, how do you read it? And she was reading it backwards, and the pages were going backwards, and then the pages were. I was like, child, I can't. Like, here, take your book. Y'all got me. I won't be visiting Japan anytime soon because it was so hard. And so I better start putting my makeup on. It was just interesting. Like, I found that so interesting that here I am, trying to understand all these different cultures and languages and stuff, and it's incredibly difficult if your brain is traumatized, and your main goal in life is just survival. Like, you're in survival mode, you're in fear mode. You're not going to have a healthy um education if that's the way you have to live every day. And for a lot of trans kids, unfortunately, if they live in some place where people are all closed minded and all, religious off, and that's your environment, that's going to be your life. Like, you're going to be living in fear and living in trauma. You're not going to be hardly be able to go to school and study properly because you're going to be getting picked on and you're going to be in survival mode. So those are things to keep in mind, like when you are dealing with trans youth, because I was one of them, unfortunately. And I turned out okay, I think, for the most part. I have my moments where I think I feel like I'm being cheated, like my life got cheated. I got cheated out of life because I ended up with a, really good boyfriend. He died. And then I had a really horrible boyfriend, a husband, I should say. Oh, that fool. And that didn't work out. And so it's like I had my opportunities to kind of have a life and have that kind of life that I thought that I was going to have. But then I ended up, just by myself and with a bunch of animals, like a crazy cat lady, but instead of cats, I have dogs. It's a crazy dog lady, and that's okay. Like everybody can have a marriage, everybody can have a relationship. I had them. It's overrated. So um, those who can make it work, good for them. Those who don't, oh well, maybe life will show you some other way to exist on the planet while you're here and be happy. Because, like being happy is so important, and having a peace of mind is very important. I think after my ex, a peace of mind became very, very much a reality for me. And having the freedom to just exist and live in my own world and smile and laugh about the things that I want to laugh about, watch TV and just normal stuff. And he was trying to take all of that away. And that was the worst. Ooh, I just squirted. Oh, it went all up my shirt. I hope it did. Ooh, look at that. It went all on my shirt. Look, I just trying to put my makeup on and it squirted all over me. Damn it. Looks good though on my skin. Oh, let's see here. Put some of this on. I don't want to waste it. Um, so like I say, this is one of my random chit chats, and I really want to really talk about too much personal stuff just because there's no point in it. And I don't see. Oh, excuse me. I dropped it. I dropped. This is NYX, by the way. Let me see if I can pull it back and you can see it NYX. And it's really nice. I like it. I got it at Beauty Mart, and I just put a little bit on, and I haven't really been feeling like putting on a whole lot of makeup and stuff. Just covering up all the blemish marks from when I had my face lasered. It never evened out. They said to use cocoa butter and all this stuff, but once you start lasering your skin, oh, it got stuck. Hold on.